Hello Red Deer, and happy Pride Month. My name's Jeffrey Round. I'm the author of 14 books of fiction and a volume of poetry. You may know me from my Dan Sharp PI mysteries, of which Lion's Head Revisited is the most recent in the Lambda winning series. You may also know my Bradford Fairfax comic murder mysteries, of which Bon Ton Roulette is the most recent. And if you're a very astute reader of Canadian poetry, you may have heard of my relit nominated in the Museum of Leonardo da Vinci poetry collection. I was very excited to be asked to read poetry today because nobody ever does. So I've got 5 pieces for you. There are 2 short, 2 medium, and 1 longer piece. The first is called National Shame, and it's about the murder in Charlottesville, Virginia on the 12th of August, 2017, of a woman named Heather Heyer. She was one of many people protesting a white supremacist organization when a car was driven into the crowd, killing her and injuring 19 other people. So this is National Shame. How did it feel to run her down? How did it feel when you heard that hard bone driving into your car hood, that white femur snapped, that bruised kneecap, that pelvis shattered, and the heart riven in 300 million pieces like the broken dreams of your so-called great nation, which was, as so many of you forget, stolen from another far more peaceful than yours. This next piece is called Ode to a Dead Lover. It's actually dedicated to my ex, my deceased ex, who was the painter of the painting behind me on the wall today. Michael died during the AIDS pandemic in the 90s. So, Ode to a Dead Lover. In a dream you came to me. It's been so long, I said. Yes, you answered, a long time dead. Then you laughed, as only you could laugh. We spoke of this and that. I made a bad joke, and you tipped your glass in jest. Its contents spilled cool against my skin. Stop it, I said. You know I hate getting wet. You nodded and smiled, standing over me, legs askew like a captain on a doomed ship. What about love, you asked, and all that passed between us, do you remember? Of course, I replied. It was a love letter that had brought you to me then, but you'd changed the words. Always editing me, I thought, here we go again. I'm interested in that boy over there, I said, at least now that you're gone. No, he's not for you, you replied. Too young, I asked. No, too old. You forget, what's up is down, what's down is up. That's just how it goes on this side of things. I closed my eyes, afraid to reach out, afraid to feel the emptiness between us and know that the divide was greater than I thought. Are you still angry with me, I said. Yes, you replied, turning to leave. And you? Still afraid to be touched? This short piece is called The Love of the Hunter for the Stag. My heart leaps out of my mouth like a deer startled in a field, leaping and bounding in surprise before turning back to stare at the ineluctable hunter who comes to take him home. In you I look for the wounding again and again, but cannot find it. I bleed, yet my wounds are clean. Hunter, ride your stag, take me down. This is dedicated to every single artistic person who has ever felt neglected, abused, overlooked, unloved. It's called These Curious Lives. Art lies splattered against the walls of this gallery, like the disemboweled remains of the soldiers who made them, some famous, some unknown. These frames are their burial notices. Look, this one died of neglect. another of bad reviews, and one of a broken heart, but at least not before leaving their own marks behind. They were waging a battle to decorate our lives, their own being too messy or too ghastly to put on display. Primary colors were needed to express this one's beliefs, while another lies shrouded in pastels, their lives shortened by their pigments. Imagine the dreadful pounding of shells as day by day they struck heroic poses, heads flung back in relief against the flashes and flares of battle, and all that lies fallen by the wayside. This is the last piece I'll read today. It's called To a Would-Be LGBTQ Teen Suicide. As many of you will know, the suicide rate for LGBTQ teens is quite a bit higher than the national average. It's actually approaching the much higher level of suicide among Aboriginal teens. So I wanted to say something very personal about that, as you'll find out when I read the poem. To a would-be LGBTQ teen suicide. You say you want to kill yourself. You say, I can do this because this is me, because I am. But then you will not be am, just was. Not even I anymore. You say, no one understands me. No one knows my pain. And yes, maybe that's true right now. How will you do it then? With pills, with rope, or with a bullet if you are American? Or maybe with fire or hopelessness? And who will it affect? Your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your neighbors, your friends? Who else will it kill in turn, like an insidious virus that infects everyone eventually? Your future lovers, your future friends, me? Believe me, I know, because I was the boy who walked down to the harbor at midnight, wanting to throw himself in and let the sea and sky swallow him whole because I thought no one cared. Or maybe you are not a teenager, maybe you are an adult or a senior, and you think, no one could ever love me, so better to end it here. Maybe. All I know is I was that same boy, a year later, driving along an unlighted road who thought, just the flick of my wrist and this will all be over. Yes, I can do this if I want to. But no, wait. Something saved me that day. A knowledge of the unseen, a force from above, a kind word, a poem. I don't remember now what it was, just an idea that one day the fire in my belly would feel good again, that it would not burn forever, that life could taste sweet once more. So I clung on, my hands shaking on that steering wheel, my sneakers turning back from the water lapping at my feet at the edge, trying to eat me. I clung on. Thank you very much, and happy Pride!